Join me today for our Thursday video where we talk about chalks and the tools to apply them. Alright, for this Thursday tool video, we are going to talk about the chalks and the brushes I use to apply the chalks when I'm using clay to make doll food. This is the set of chalks you see me use the most. They're soft pastels. They're used in artwork for drawing more than anything else, I think. I got them, they're near the paints and the drawing pads and that kind of stuff, the drawing pencils. Got them at Michael's. This, I believe, is the store brand for Michael's for this kind of thing. They're inexpensive, and I will try to have a link to this on the blog post. You can see which ones I use the most. And I love that there's 36 colors in here. I mean, there are colors that I've never used, but I've got the option if I want to. And you've seen me use a lot of different techniques with these. So that's the chalks. Let's talk about some options to these and some other things that you can use. Get these back in their packaging, maybe. Now, another option. There are also chalk pastels that come in these little blocks, these little bricks, and these are just some cheap ones from Studio G. There's also some very, very expensive ones out there. They're also a chalk. And they're easy to use. They're used the same way, but these you usually just brush on them, is what I usually do. These also come in lots and lots of colors. But there's even more options because for some finishes, I use powdered eyeshadow. This is one of my favorites for gold. This I got at Dollar Tree. This is a loose gold metallic. The brush in here is not very good, because it gets all bent up when you put it in and out. But this stuff is gorgeous if you need a gold. And I've got a silver, and I think I've got another metallic, I want to say metallic purple. This stuff works really well too. And then there's also these cheap eyeshadow palettes. This is also from Dollar Tree. And I've used these a couple of times on fantasy foods, like for fairies and things. And they were gorgeous. But those are another option as far as chalks go, what you can use. If you have a brown eyeshadow that's matte, you could use that on your foods too. Now brushes. Let's talk about brushes. When I first started out, I just used a paintbrush, and that's what most people use. But I wasn't getting the coverage I wanted, and I especially noticed it after I did a commission order where I used, I don't know if it was the silver or the gold, but that's what I had picked these up for originally. And I loved the coverage I got, and I realized it had to be the brush. So I thought, well, what's different? Well, this obviously has an eyeshadow brush, not a paintbrush in it. And I got to thinking about, well, paintbrushes are made for liquids. Basic paint is liquid. Chalk is powder like eyeshadow. So I grabbed a couple of eyeshadow brushes from Dollar Tree and played around with them, and all it took was one time, and I realized they are so much easier to use. You get so much better coverage with a brush because this is flat. Usually they're flat. They're much more densely packed, and they're just shaped to use for powder. So this is my preference, and I don't buy expensive ones. Like I said, Dollar Tree. Both of these came from Dollar Tree. So that's my kind of spiel about that. Other options for putting on your chalks would be cotton swabs, the sponge eyeshadow applicators, your fingers. I do a lot of different things depending on what I'm doing for special finishes. But anyway, that's that. I will have photos in the blog post of the different items I've got here. I'll try to have a link for the chalks, and I will talk to you later. Bye.